Imagine this, you're carrying new life inside you. You're counting down the weeks, preparing a nursery, dreaming about your baby's first smile. But outside your window, the world is getting hotter. The air feels heavier. Heat waves are hitting earlier, lasting longer. The very environment that's supposed to nurture life is turning into a risk. This isn't a dystopian future. It's happening right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Healthy Addict. Today I want to talk to you not just as a health advocate, but as a human being. Because what we're seeing in the world right now is affecting something as personal, as intimate, as sacred as pregnancy. We're in the middle of a climate crisis. And while most of the conversations are focused on melting ice caps, rising seas, and wildfires, there's something happening quietly. Something that affects families, mothers, and unborn children. Climate change is putting pregnancies at risk. Let's start with the science, but I promise to keep it human. Between 2020 and 2024, the number of days considered dangerously hot for pregnant people has more than doubled in over 200 countries. These aren't just hot days. They're days when your body can't regulate its temperature effectively. And if you're pregnant, that risk is amplified. When you're pregnant, your body works overtime. You're not just keeping yourself cool, you're supporting another life. That makes you more vulnerable to heat stress. And with temperatures rising globally, millions of pregnant women are facing conditions that could be harmful, even deadly. Heat stress has been linked to a rise in complications like preeclampsia, preterm birth, stillbirth, and low birth weight. These aren't just statistics. These are babies arriving weeks too early, babies who need intensive care, mothers dealing with traumatic deliveries, and families whose joy turns into fear. One study showed that when temperatures stay high for just 4 consecutive days, the risk of preterm birth can spike significantly. And it's not rare anymore. These heat waves are happening more often, and they're hitting hardest in regions least prepared. Places where healthcare is already fragile, where air conditioning is a luxury, not a guarantee. But the impact doesn't stop with heat. Air pollution, another byproduct of the climate crisis, is quietly invading our lungs, our bloodstreams, and yes, even the womb. Pollution has been linked to high blood pressure during pregnancy, developmental issues in the fetus, and an increased risk of miscarriage. And here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Climate change is also disrupting access to health care and reproductive services. In areas hit by floods, wildfires, or conflict over natural resources, clinics close, hospitals are overwhelmed. Women lose access to prenatal care, to contraception, even to basic hygiene products. Sometimes the heat itself destroys critical medical supplies. Contraceptives and pregnancy tests exposed to high temperatures can stop working. That's not just inconvenient, that's dangerous. Let me take a moment here to talk about inequality, because we have to. The harshest effects of climate change aren't being felt equally. It's women in low-income communities, indigenous women, black women, and rural families who are most exposed and least protected. They're living in older homes that trap heat. They work outdoors, often in agriculture or service jobs that don't offer paid leave. They can't just stay cool indoors, because what if there is no cool indoors? And when something goes wrong, a spike in blood pressure, a dehydration episode, an early labor, they may not have access to quality emergency care. This is what we mean when we say climate change is also a justice issue. But here's the thing, even if you're living in a high-income country with access to air conditioning, good hospitals, and prenatal vitamins, you're not immune. The planet is changing, and it's affecting all of us. In the U.S., for example, climate-related risks to pregnancy are on the rise. More wildfires mean more toxic air. Longer summers mean longer exposure to heat. Hospitals in coastal cities are bracing for more climate-related pregnancy complications. It's overwhelming, I know. It feels too big, but I want to leave you with this. Your awareness matters. The fact that you're watching this video, listening, thinking, maybe even feeling a little angry, that matters. Because we have power. We can demand policies that protect both the environment and human health. We can support green infrastructure and healthcare funding in vulnerable communities. We can talk about this issue out loud and often, so it doesn't stay buried under more trendy climate headlines. If you're pregnant or planning to be, here are a few things you can do right now. Stay cool. Avoid going outside during peak heat hours, especially in summer. Use fans, cooling cloths, or air conditioning if available. Hydrate like it's your job. Pregnant bodies need more fluids, and that's even more important during heat waves. Know the warning signs. Dizziness, nausea, cramps, and headaches in the heat aren't just uncomfortable. They could be signs of heat exhaustion. Talk to your doctor. Ask them about how heat and pollution may affect your pregnancy, especially if you live in a high-risk area. Get involved. Whether it's supporting climate-conscious policies or helping community aid programs, your voice can help protect others. This isn't just a story about weather. It's about life, the most vulnerable kind. Babies not yet born. Mothers doing everything they can to bring them safely into the world, and a planet that's making it harder every day. So let's stand up for them. Let's raise awareness. Let's demand better. Because the health of future generations depends on what we do right now. Thanks for being here. Stay cool, stay informed, and stay connected. Because that's how we make change. And if this video moved you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let's keep this conversation alive.